Today's episode is brought to you by Magoosh. Online test prep for the GRE, GMAT, LSAT, SAT, ACT, TOEFL, and Praxis. It can be hard to find the time and money to prepare for standardized tests. Magoosh offers a better solution. Affordable, effective test prep, 100% online. Log in anytime, anywhere, on your computer, tablet, phone. Study when you want, where you want, on your terms. Magoosh's complete test prep starts at under $100, and they guarantee you'll improve your score or they will give you your money back. Go to magoosh.com right now. That's MAGOOSH.com. Get 20% off with code BEAUTIFUL at checkout. Beautiful stories make the world go round, and so does saving a life. I am really so passionate about DKMS, and I really hope everybody listening to this participates in this, because this is an actual thing you can do to give someone a second chance at life. You can register right now and donate to a blood cancer patient who needs you. You'll receive a swab kit in the mail, swab your cheeks, send the samples back, and you're good to go. It could not be easier, and it's such a kind thing to do. Just think, you become a donor. Sincerely, guys, I'm so behind this one. I hope you go right now and register today at dkms.org/beautiful. That's dkms.org/BEAUTIFUL, or text stories to 50555 for more information. Message and data rates may apply. I would love it if a lot of listeners to this podcast got behind DKMS, because it's a really kind organization doing a good thing. And I hope we all step up. Hello, everyone out there who's cutting it close and just almost at a bathroom. It's Beautiful Anonymous. 1 hour, one phone call, no names, no holds barred.
I'd rather go one-on-one. I think it'll be more fun, and I'll get to know you, and you'll get to know me.
I stumbled into doing the Beautiful Anonymous podcast, and I say that because I did not anticipate what it would become. People have shared some of the most honest, beautiful stories I've ever heard. They've told me so much. People have opened up. They've shared with the whole world deep, profound experiences, opinions, fears. It's been eye-opening. This episode is none of those things. It's about a guy who shits his pants. A lot. I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you for calling Beautiful Anonymous. A beeping noise will indicate when you are on the show with the host.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
It's okay.
Is this Chris?
Yeah, this is Chris. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm well. I'm very good. I'm eating a salad on my lunch right now.
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
No, it's just okay.
Oh yeah, what do you like in a salad? What's your salad of choice?
Like a little bit of like spicy and crunchy, like like tortilla chips maybe, and then like some chicken.
Oh.
That's pretty good.
I like that you named 2 non-vegetables as your core salad items.
Well, I mean, I assumed that was implied.
Yeah, it was. I was just surprised. It's very. What's your favorite thing in a salad? Tortilla chips and chicken. Right. So I know you're American. We're Americans, that's for sure.
I like a salad from El Pollo Loco,
Yeah, we don't have those.
In there,
we don't got the Pollo Locos.
Oh, that's right. You're on the East Coast.
Yeah.
So, according to Twitter, you're looking for a good story.
Yeah, I'm always looking for a good story. You got one?
Yeah, so this is the story of my fall from grace in wrestling.
Your fall from grace in wrestling? Oh,
I did a lot of wrestling in high school.
Wait, you're breaking up a little bit. Can you say that last one again?
Yeah, so I did high school wrestling.
Oh, amateur wrestling. So not professional wrestling.
No, sir, real wrestling.
Okay, yeah, because I like the amateur wrestling. I did jiu-jitsu for a while, and there were a lot of wrestlers in there, but I love the pro wrestling.
Oh, that's right. I did hear that about you. Did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
I was a blue belt. It's the second worst belt.
Oh, okay. I'm not too sure how the belt system works there. I actually did Wing Chun, which isn't grappling, but it's still pretty cool.
Yeah. Wrestlers, it's hardcore.
Yeah, it really is. So hardcore, I pooped my pants.
Wow. Is that your fall from grace?
Yeah, so like, where do I start this? Okay, so I'm an overweight guy. I was the heavyweight for my team. And, just about after I graduated, I had my gallbladder removed. I don't really know what the actual term is, but my gallbladder was inflamed. So, I had this surgery to remove my gallbladder, and like every time after I was eating, I had to poop. It was not pretty.
Yeah.
And so I'm coaching wrestling, and I decide to hop into this tournament where the coaches can wrestle. And one thing led to another. I got tossed really hard, and the other heavyweight landed right on top of me, and bam, there's your poop.
Right there in the singlet.
Right there in the singlet. And you know what? The worst part was our singlets were white.
No, they weren't. Come on, that can't be true.
100% true.
I got a lot of questions. What had you eaten? What had you recently eaten?
Well, right now I ate the salad.
No, I mean before you pooped your pants. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I had anticipated, dealing with this poop issue. So I had a really light breakfast, actually. I ate like a granola bar and maybe like some scrambled eggs.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was it.
So
but it was enough.
Was there a lot? And
was enough.
Was there a lot of poop? It was a noticeable amount of poop.
Well, I guess what you have to understand is that it wasn't solid. It was liquid. So the amount was not a lot, but it was noticeable because it was dispersed,
Yeah.
in my singlet.
Right, in your white singlet. Now, how do people react? How does your opponent react? How does the referee react? And most importantly, how do the children that you coach react?
Well, we're on a similar level because this is right after I graduated high school, so we're similar ages.
Mm-hmm.
We're not really, maybe a year I'm older than them.
Sure.
I'm not that much older than them. And they're just trying to have my back, trying to support me after this happened. But one of my wrestlers, his grandmother was there to watch him, and I swear she laughed so hard and so long. He had to tell her, like, "Hey, Grandma, you got to calm down."
Do they stop the match? Do they stop the match when you poop? Do you lose by forfeit?
The match actually got stopped because when he threw me, he put me right to my back and pinned me. So the poop discovery wasn't made until after I had already lost.
So there was
his hand was getting raised.
So there was already, you already lost. You already were hanging your head for that reason, and then you look down and go, oh, and there's also, I also took a shit on the mat on top of that.
The thing is, I couldn't even, I had the suspicion, I'm definitely, I felt something.
Yeah, yeah.
But it wasn't confirmed until I kind of got to my corner. They're like, yeah, dude, you browned yourself.
That's a nice way to phrase it.
Yeah, I just thought of that right now.
You just thought it. Did you? I wonder if you invented that, or if that's something that you've heard in passing before. You browned yourself.
I'm not too sure. I don't know that I've specifically heard anybody say that, but
we may have invented a thing.
I doubt I'm the first one in the universe to say that.
To refer to shitting your pants as browning, the act of browning oneself. Wow. So then what?
Yeah.
So no. So it's not. So in the match, it's not like your opponent recoils in horror or the ref recoils in horror. It's noticed afterwards. You've got a grandma laughing at you. It's pretty bad. What are the long term? Now, why is this a fall from grace? Because I guess if you're a coach, you're pretty good, huh?
I mean, I wouldn't say I was that good. You know, like when you're decent at something, but you really understand the concepts. I think I knew how to kind of convey what they want to do in situations. And like at our high school, there was not a big wrestling culture, so it wasn't like there was a long list of applicants for the job. Right.
So what were the long term repercussions of this browning?
I mean, mostly just embarrassment, I suppose.
Wow.
Although now, I'm doing the whole Tyrion Lannister thing, wearing it as my armor. I'm pretty comfortable with telling the story now. I thought it was funny in retrospect, but not in the moment.
How long ago did this happen?
Maybe like 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Are you still a wrestling coach?
So, relatively recent. No, I'm not. I coached for a few years and then just got a real job.
Yeah.
Don't really have time. It's a big time commitment, really.
Yeah. And I have to ask, how much of a factor in your quitting was the brown?
I would say not too much, because this was an off-season tournament.
Yeah.
This was in between my first and second season coaching. So I still came back to coach the next year, but I don't think it affected me too much. It was more about the time than the poop.
Yeah, I get that. I tell you, we've been talking for 10 minutes now, and I just heard a pretty good pants shitting story. I like that. I like how this is starting. I
mean, if you don't start off top with the poop story, where do you go from there?
It's a really good question. So what else do you want to talk about?
Well, it sounds like you're tired of struggling young artists, but I definitely feel that that quarter life crisis episode is relatable.
Yeah, it seems like that's in the air. Seems like a lot of people who find this podcast are wandering souls searching for something.
That's your niche market there. That's your cult following, I suppose.
Yeah, sad people who feel despair at all times. That's really, I got the market cornered.
What about you, Chris? Has anyone asked you what's up? What's up with you?
Wow, thank you. Many people don't.
What's your story? What's your poop story?
Oh, I mean, dude, if you want to go poop story for poop story, I have like 100 of them.
All right, well, let's see what you got, and I definitely have one lined up that I can think of.
Okay, so I mean, this is going to be dueling poop stories. I just heard a lot of our classier listeners turn off. Battle shits. That's you just came up with a great term. Battle shits. Gethard versus Mr.
No, I did not come
Brown.
up with that. That was on Harold and Kumar, I believe.
Really? I've seen Harold and Kumar. I don't remember that. Battle shits. I like Harold and Kumar. Jersey movie. Okay, we're going to see who has the best poop story, and then if you can't top it...
I mean, I kind of played my best card up top.
You did, yeah.
So I think that should be considered.
Okay, well, when you feel like you can't beat me, you just say, you sunk my battle shit.
Okay.
Which one should I start with? Okay. Many years ago, I believe it was 2003, I was still a New Jersey resident. I was living in Montclair, New Jersey, but I was hanging out in New York City all the time because I had found the Upright Citizens Brigade. That was my home away from home. I was there doing comedy all the time. One day...
Oh, wait, can I guess this one? Did you have to go really bad and there was nowhere around to go?
Well, why are you getting cute, man? Why are you cutting me off? Cutting me off.
Wait, but was I right? Was that the story?
On a very basic level, but that's like saying that To Kill a Mockingbird is about a court case.
Okay.
Many other layers to it. Let's
hear the juicy details on this.
And I feel you cutting me off in an effort to throw me off my rhythm so that your next poop story may trump mine, my friend. And let me just tell you, I am onto that strategy. And if you want to play these games, we can play these games.
Hey, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Well said. I hope that's what you taught the children you coached in sports. Okay, so...
Very true. It's not cheating if the coach can't, or if the ref can't see you.
Yeah, well done. You never told those kids to check the oil, did you?
I mean, it was definitely joked about a lot in practice, but no oil checking here.
You can't check the oil, man. If you don't know what that is out there, if you're listening, you look up check your oil when it comes to grappling. You're not going to like what you find. Okay.
It's also referred to an Asian dart.
That seems racist.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I don't know if it is, but
A lot of things get said on the mats that maybe don't translate out in the real world so much. You got the cauliflower ear, by the way?
Oh, no, I never really got cauliflower ear personally, but I have popped a few. I stuck a needle in a few of them.
Oof. It's rough. Okay. So it's 2003, I believe, August, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm in New York City, and I'm at the classroom space of the Upright Citizens Brigade. I'm hanging out, shooting the shit with a couple people. This was our old classroom space, 23rd and 7th. It was up above a diner, just two little classrooms, and had all the offices there, so there were always people hanging out. And I'm up there, and all of a sudden, all the lights go off. All the computers go off. Everything goes off. Air conditioner turns off. We're like, whoa, okay. And then we start hearing all these cars honking. Look out the window. Every traffic light is blinking. Every street light is off. Every window, you see no lights. We're like, oh my God, blackout, New York City. So this is 2003, August. Immediately people are like, terrorist attack. This is less than 2 years since 9/11, so everybody freaked out.
Sure.
So everybody's getting out like radios, like battery-powered radios, figuring out what we can, and we're hearing like the emergency broadcasts, and they're saying it's not a terrorist attack, it's just the whole eastern seaboard. It was a blackout up and down, like all the way up into Canada. Everything fell apart. This is a famous incident.
Was it a rolling brownout?
Today, more than ever, I think you'd all agree that taking a break from this call will provide a nice change of pace. And don't go anywhere, though. You got to hear how my rolling brownout ends. In the meantime, check out some words from the sponsors who make this show happen. Now Hear This Podcast Festival is coming to Anaheim, California, October 28th through 30th. It's going to be like Comic-Con for podcasts, a weekend of live performances, special events for podcast fans, and some of your favorite shows. The Moth will be there. Lore, one of my favorite podcasts, Criminal, Phoebe Judge. Don't know that she's aware of me, but I dig her work. Mark Maron will be there from WTF with his producer talking about their favorite behind-the-scenes stories and some of your favorite comedy shows. Comedy Bang Bang, Improv for Humans, How Did This Get Made? Super Ego, dozens more, and more being announced all the time. Check out all the ticket options for special events like meet and greets with hosts. Register today at nowhearthisfest.com. Now Hear This, October 28th through 30th, Anaheim, California. Nowhearthisfest.com for more info. Therapy can and should be affordable, confidential, and convenient. This is exactly what Talkspace is. Only with Talkspace do you get unlimited messaging to your dedicated licensed therapist for just $32 a week. Join over 300,000 users who already know that with Talkspace, you can text, audio message, or video message your therapist as many times as you want without having to wait a week. for your next appointment. Because with Talkspace, your therapist is always right there in your pocket or on your computer. And now you can even schedule a live video session with your therapist right from your smartphone. Visit Talkspace.com/beautiful for a special $30 discount off your first month, or download the Talkspace app on the Apple or Android App Store and use coupon code BEAUTIFUL. Talkspace, therapy for how we live today. Okay, I know you've all been waiting with real anticipation to hear my poop story.
Was it a rolling brownout?
Well, hey man, I can feel the battle of the wills happening. Good joke. So we got this going on, right? So as soon as we hear it's not a terrorist attack, it was like, oh, game on. Let's everybody have fun. And all of New York City just kind of poured into the streets because there was no air conditioning. So everybody was just like walking around. And then all these bars started giving away booze. I had quit drinking, but it was fun because all the restaurants were just like, everything's going to go bad. Our freezers don't work. Our fridges don't work. So cheap booze, cheap food. And then every place that served ice cream started just like giving out free ice cream or big ice cream for $1. It was all this like half melted ice cream. So I started running all over New York City, man. I'm like eating ice cream, getting all the free ice cream I can. It was great, you know? Now, I'm going to, in a very weird twist of fate, the actual theater, the UCB Theater on 26th Street, it's in this complex that has their own generator. So they had air conditioning. So everybody was hanging out there. Yeah, it was really nice. We'd all like go walk around for a while, get real sweaty, and you go back to the one place that has air conditioning. It was fun. It was nice. And I had driven into the city. I lived in Montclair, New Jersey at the time, but the tunnels and the bridge is such a mess. I mean, traffic was like bumper to bumper. None of the lights worked. So I was like, I'm not driving back. I'm going to hang out all night and drive back later. So gets time to finally drive back. I'm going to leave, and there had been a couple other Jersey people stranded there, one of them being my friend Mike. And Mike and I had gone to college together. We had kind of like, there was a woman we were both pining for. She chose him. I was very bitter. I was very sad. We'd always had a little bit of a weird, I wouldn't say falling out. We never had it out, but it was this thing where it was like I was a real pain in his ass. She was always kind of like maybe flirting with the idea of me still. He didn't like that. I didn't like that. So there's always some tension there, you know? So we'd
say, competition for sure.
Yeah, and just like one of those unfortunate things when you're young and you fall in love with the wrong gal and she's in love with someone, this little mini love triangle thing erupted, you know? So I see Mike, he lives in Jersey still at the time as well, and he's like, hey man, is there any way you'd give me a ride back to Jersey? I took the train in. I thought I was going to be stuck here overnight. You could really save my ass. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I'm psyched. He's an old friend. And also in my mind, I'm like, you know, things have been strained with him and I, but we've settled it. And it's like a nice thing to do, reestablish it, you know? So we get in the car. I lived in Montclair. He had parked his car at a train station in South Orange, New Jersey, a couple towns away. So I drive him out there, and we're talking a little bit. And I'll tell you something about me is I've always been a little bit lactose intolerant. And as soon as we got through the Lincoln Tunnel, as soon as we get through, I'm like, just out of nowhere, I'm like, oh, I don't say this, but I'm just like, I'm gonna shit my pants. I can just feel it. I'm like, I'm about to shit my pants. It was just like instantly.
Yeah, I definitely know that feeling.
Yeah, I had the ice cream shits, you know? And I'm gritting my teeth. I start sweating. I start holding the bottom of the steering wheel and doing like sort of like a curl to like push my ass further down in the seat to help hold back this like wave of shit. And I just stop talking, and it gets all silent and awkward with Mike, and I can't say like I honestly just stopped talking because it's not even like I'm embarrassed to tell him what's going on. It's more like I'm just like, if I unloosen any muscle, like if I unloosen my jaw muscle, I'm going to explode with diarrhea all over the car. It's bad. So we're driving. We're like 25 minutes from South Orange. Very, very sparse conversation. I'm silent, gritting it out. And I finally get there, drop him off. He's like, all right, man, whatever. It was like a real awkward car ride. I felt bad about it. And then I was like, okay, we're in South Orange. I grew up in West Orange. I'm just going to book it to my hometown. I know all the businesses. So I drive to a diner. Of course, I get there. There's a blackout. It's closed. Everything's closed. So now I'm in my hometown, my childhood home, driving past all these sites that would normally be my salvation, where I'd feel like I made it and I got home. And this homecoming, my hometown embracing me in its warm bosom, and now it's rejecting me. So I fly through, cut through West Orange, get to Montclair. I lived in this neighborhood. There was never parking, dude. There was never parking. So pull up to my apartment building. There's a spot right on my block. I'm like, oh my God, this never happens. I get out. I'm doing like the duck waddle. You know what I mean? You're like doing the walk where you're holding the shit in while you're running. Get out my keys. I'm like shaking. Get inside. I lived on the second floor. I go to run up the steps, man, and like get right up to the top step. And I just feel like bloop. Like I just feel a little shit come out. But I'm like 10 feet from my front door. So I don't even stop. I just like book it, run into my toilet, like the bathroom, get down on the toilet and just like unleash. And it felt so good. And I don't know about you, but like when I come that close to shitting my pants and I don't do it, it feels so good. And like all of a sudden, all that nervous sweat, the cool air hits it. You're cooling down. It's just like great, you know? And like, like was sitting there for a few minutes recovering. And then I was like, oh, wait, I think I shit a little bit in my pants. So I pull down my pants and I look in my underwear and there's no shit. Look down further into my pants. There's no shit. I'm like, what is going on? And then I see this little trail of brown dots running down my leg. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man. You got to be kidding me. And I walk back out in the hallway and I look on the top step, right on the edge of the top step is this like perfectly spherical ball of shit that it was like a 1 in a million thing where I just like managed to shit this piece of shit and it rolled, like didn't get caught in the underwear, never got caught on my pants, went right out the cuff at the bottom of my jeans. And landed right on this step.
Hold on a sec. So you were wearing pants and not shorts.
I was wearing pants and not shorts. It was 1 in a million, dude. It was 1 in a million. Never got caught. It just was like, it was like Luke Skywalker shooting into the Death Star, man. He like turned off the targeting system.
It did that little drop, the little bloop.
Yeah, Obi-Wan, like the ghost of Obi-Wan was like, turn off the computer and do it for real, Luke, you know? But I can't stress this enough. Like the top step, right on the edge, like almost like it looked like it was about to just like roll off, but it was just stuck there, like a little modern art piece. Like we're all on the precipice of falling at all times. So then I had to just go and get a paper towel and pick up my shit with my hands. How you feeling?
I mean, I definitely have been in a few of those close call situations. For sure. This next one that I'm going to tell you, I should say I was like really young.
Okay. I
was maybe 8 to 10 year old range. And you know, my family used to go to Mexico in the summer. You know, go boogie boarding, surfboarding, whatever, go camping. So we're camping up on these cliffs, and then you can take this like sketchy path down to the beach, you know, for whatever beach recreation you'd like to partake in. So my brother and I, you know, we grab our boogie boards, we head down to the beach. Now, mind you, it's probably like if it was just a straight, easy path, it probably would have been like, you know, 10-minute, 15-minute walk, but it was pretty treacherous. So we're talking more like 20, maybe 30 minutes if you're moving slow or you have a lot of stuff. So, you know, we spend the day boogie boarding, having a good time. And then at one point or another, I realized, man, I got to poop. So my older brother, I kind of asked him, you know, you think I can make it up? And he gives me the, you know, it's kind of up to you. If you think you can make it up, then we'll try. But it wasn't going to happen with, you know, that duck walk that we're describing, that full body clench, focus only on having to go. There was no way. Plus I was 8, you know, my sphincter wasn't really up to par.
Sure.
And so he uses his boogie board and mine, kind of makes me, you know, a little blockage. We're going to go ahead and just do this on the beach and cover it up and never return. So there I am, 8 years old, butthole out, beach in Mexico. and I let it rip. Nothing to clean up with post poop. Other than going in the water and maybe getting a little wet.
Yeah.
But so we're still right there, kind of gathering the rest of our stuff. And these Australian guys come up, and they must have thought we were locals because, we're little Mexican kids. We're not from Mexico, but we're Mexican descent. So they come up and they're like, "Hey, mate, whereabouts we can," I don't know what they wanted, tacos, something. They wanted us to point them in the right direction. We didn't know. And one of the guys, as he's walking, it was just like his pinky toe only, right into the poop.
Oh.
Just a nice little pinky toe in my dump.
Wow.
And he didn't even notice. He walked right on to where he was going.
So you watched an Australian man step in your feces?
Barely. Just like the minimum amount of stepping on something.
Yeah. And do you feel embarrassed, or does it feel kind of powerful in a way?
I mean, I would say at that point in my life, I didn't really know. Like, I still don't know how to feel about it. I don't feel guilty, that's for sure. But I wasn't the authority figure in that case.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I was going to tell him, "Hey man, my poop is there."
Yeah. Watch out for my human poop that's on the ground right in front of you.
Exactly.
8 years old though, it's excusable. It's excusable to poop.
Yeah. See, that's where I kind of fall on the issue is that I have no guilt.
Yeah.
Because I was a different person at 8. I wasn't me at 23.
Sure. I feel like
pooping on beaches.
I would laugh so hard if a man stepped in my poop when I was 8 years old. I think that would be the crowning achievement of my life.
Oh, we laughed later on, but
yeah.
At that time I was more concerned with my poopy butthole.
I get that. I got one that's actually not so far off. Similar themes.
Is it on a beach as well?
No, but it involves. Just let me tell the story, man.
I almost spit out my LaCroix.
Oh, you're a LaCroix boy, like my buddy Joe Mandy.
Yes, sir.
Everybody's loving the LaCroix lately. But do they sell LaCroix? Can you just buy like a can of LaCroix at the deli, or do you have to go get a 12-pack?
I mean, I've only bought it in 12 packs.
Yeah.
But I don't see why, there's not some store owner buying a 12-pack and breaking it up and selling it individually.
That's capitalism, baby.
You could probably acquire a single one.
That's capitalist. I like you. You're a capitalist.
I mean, if you really want, Chris, I can send you one in the mail. It's going to take a while, and it will be warm.
No, I'm
but
okay.
I can send you one.
I think in New York City, I'll be able to track down an individual can of LaCroix seltzer. But thank you. Thank you so much. Do you want my other poop story or no? Are you bored? Or is it time to move on?
No, I want to hear it. I'm just watching the clock because I do have to be back from lunch in about 20 minutes here.
Well, we got about
15 minutes here.
Look, we got 31 minutes tops. If you want to hang up at any point, you can. If you want to try to sneak it in front of your workplace, I'm down with that. Whatever you want. But I'll tell you this.
Yeah, we'll see what the vibe is. Let's hear your story here.
So, once a summer, me and my brother used to camp out in a tent in our backyard with the kids who lived around the corner, Rory and Frankie Kearns. I hope they don't mind me saying their names out loud. I haven't spoken to either of them in probably 20 years, but Rory and Frankie Kearns of the infamous Kearns brothers. There were many members of the clan, good Irish folk. We used to camp out in a tent in our backyard, and needless to say, there's a lot of mischief that happened. There was a lot of, boyhood, let's sneak out of the tent and run around the neighborhood and cause some trouble in the middle of the night. It was a fun annual tradition. And I don't know where you grew up. Did you have dirt bombs? Are you familiar with dirt bombs? Did you have these?
Is that like where you kind of cake moist dirt into like a ball shape and throw it at somebody?
A little bit. Ours.
Or is that like where you put dirt into a bag and throw it at somebody?
No, it's closer to the first one. It's more like you go in like a garden. Like if there's bushes on a front lawn, you go under it, and there'll be these natural like clumps of dirt, and they're kind of like dried out.
Okay, yeah. We used to call those dirt clods when we were a kid.
Dirt clods. So, okay, that's a regional difference. We're discovering many regional variants here on Beautiful Anonymous through the magic of poop stories.
Can I tell you something real quick?
Yeah, this is
I
your
did
phone
want
call.
to tell you.
Yeah.
I feel like we're in a similar situation here. You're from Jersey. You know, you were commuting to New York to do things.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I'm from, well, I don't know about the opposite, but I feel like it's parallel somehow.
Uh-huh.
I'm from Long Beach going to L.A. So I feel like we're on a similar level.
Sure. Is Long Beach, Jersey? Do the L.A. people all kind of make fun of it?
I don't know that they make fun of it, but it's kind of like second rate in a way, I think.
Yeah. I get that.
Nonetheless, a beautiful city.
Yeah.
As I'm sure Jersey is.
I've heard nothing but good things via Snoop Dogg songs.
Yeah, Snoop Doggy Dogg. That's my Uncle Snoop.
Wow, nice. I assume you're speaking metaphorically.
Yeah, no, he's not my real uncle. I do know, like people who have gone to school with Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
But no, he's not my actual uncle.
Fair. Good. Thank you for clarifying. So anyway, me and my brother, Greg, Rory, and Frankie Kearns, we sneak out of this tent one summer. I think it might have been the last summer that we did this camp out. And what we were doing was we were getting all these dirt bombs off different people's lawns under the bushes, gathering them up, and then we were hiding. And when cars would roll by, we'd throw dirt bombs at the cars. You know, it like explodes and like it's all dusty, so it explodes in a little cloud of smoke. But it's not a huge deal. It's childhood mischief, you know. So we're throwing it at cars, and usually like they'll hit the brake lights, and then they'll assume because we're hiding, they assume like it was just something fell out of a tree or whatever, and they keep going. Who cares? It's a little piece of dirt. But this one car, we threw a bunch of dirt bombs, and it like shrieked to a halt. And these guys got out of their car, and they were like, looking back on it, they were probably pretty young, but to us, they were old. They were probably like 18 or 19. It was a gang of them. And looking back on it, they were... Yeah,
that's really old when you're like 10 or whatever.
Yeah, I was probably 10. My brother was probably 12 around this time. If that. I probably actually was a little younger. But these guys get out, and looking back on it, they were also really drunk because they were like, yo, the fuck is going... And like yelling at each other and stuff. And then one of us made a noise, and they looked over and realized we were there, and we had thrown something at their car, and they were like, get him! And this set off this night in my childhood where we were being like hunted like animals by these teenagers. We were children.
Yeah.
And they were like chasing us around.
The most dangerous game.
It was, but set in the suburbs of northern New Jersey. And they're like chasing us around. They got a car, like they start chasing us on foot, and then the guy driving the car starts driving around. So like we're cutting through backyards, and it's like, you know, this is our neighborhood. We're little kids, so we know all like the secret passageways or the places to hide out. So it's like you lose the guy chasing you on foot, and then you like hop a fence. You're going to come around the block, and then here comes the motherfucker in the car around the block, and someone else jumps out of the car, and now you're in this chase again. This was like no joke going on for a while. And at one point, Rory Kearns was the oldest. He was very resourceful. He took off. He was kind of the ringleader who had us throwing the dirt bombs in the first place, and I think he felt honor bound to try to like run and get them distracted so we could all flee. So he took off on his own, and then it kind of became every man for himself at one point. I think Greg and Frankie stuck together. My brother and Frankie ditched me, and I wound up just alone. I was the youngest one. And I was so scared, and I've always been prone to nervous shitting. So at one point, I was in this backyard on Valley Way. This kid, Gary Braun, lived in this house. He had like, for some reason, his family's house had like double the amount of land than all the other houses. It was like all the other suburbs, like, you know, like cut from a cloth where each lot is the same exact size, except this one.
Sure.
So I wound up just like booking it across his yard all the way. And then I hopped the fence into the Kostiak's backyard, and then I was going to come across my street and head down my driveway, try to get back to that tent, or probably even get into my house. So I'm sneaking down the Kostiak's driveway, and I'm about to cross my street. And just as I start to do it, this car like rolls up. I lived on a dead end. The car rolls up and like blocks the top of the street. And they're like, there he is. There's one of them. Get him, get him. And no joke, dude, I just instantly became so scared that I pulled down my shorts and just blasted a shit in the middle of my street, like right in front of my own house.
Wow.
I just blasted a shit. But then I also knew, I was like, man, like if I run down my own driveway, they're going to know where I live and they're going to see this tent in the backyard. Yeah. It's going to be, these guys seem like actual like criminal element types, you know? These guys seem like they're out for blood. So I take off, I double back, I go back the way I came, start hiding out again. And then this goes on for...
So no pause from them for your poop?
No reaction. I don't know if they saw it. It was very late. It was very dark. I don't know if they perceived that. But I'm hiding out again, and eventually I link back up with my brother and Frankie. Rory comes along. We're all together. It's like, we got to get out of here. So it's like, all right, we need to get to our back door. Like, we're not going back in that tent. These guys are chasing us. So let's just go. So Rory was like, I'll distract them. So he jumps up and he's like, hey. He starts running. The guys saw him chase him. Me and Greg and Frankie run for the house. And I'm like, oh, we're going to make it. We're going to make it. I'm the littlest, so I'm slowest. So those guys are ahead of me. I see them get in the door. And I'm like, awesome. They made it. We're going to make it. And no joke, I totally forgot I took a shit. I slipped on my own shit and fell in it.
No.
Yeah, in the middle of the street, I was just covered in my own shit, my own feces. And then there was all this noise because we came running in. We had the little kid adrenaline rush. My parents woke up. So by the time I get in, because I'm out in the yard, like, what do I do? Do I roll around in the fucking grass? I'm covered in shit. So I'm like, by the time I get in there, all the lights are on. My parents are up. My brother's like, these guys started chasing us. And my parents are like, well, that's what you get for leaving the tent, you know, like you little assholes or whatever. And I walk in like covered in shit and everybody just stops and they're like, what's up with you? And I'm like, oh, I fell in dog shit. And they were like, where? I was like in the middle of the street. I don't know why I didn't just say like on someone's lawn. But I was like, yeah, a dog took a shit in the middle of the street. I fell in the dog shit and like rolled around for a while. It's covered in my own shit. It was bad.
Do you feel like your parents knew it was human poop? Because I feel like human and dog are distinct.
I would agree with you there. I'll also say this. Not too many dogs lived on my block. I don't think there were... I think maybe for a while my next door neighbor had one, and for a little while someone across the street, but dead end block, there are only about 10, 15 houses. There weren't too many dogs. And I'll tell you this, we all know it, everyone listening, dogs generally don't wander into the middle of a street to take a shit. It's not how they roll.
Sure.
So I think
sure.
Everyone suspected.
So now they know, though. Now they know. Or do they listen to the podcast?
They do sometimes. It's now been confirmed for the world at large. When I was in about 1989, around 1989, 1990, I claimed that I fell in dog shit. It was actually my shit. The world now knows.
That's a hot scoop.
You don't use the phrase hot scoop while we're on this topic. Come on. Hot scoop, indeed. I'm going to let us all really let that story germinate. I just shamed myself on this podcast. Not a rare feeling for me. I'm going to step away, deal with the shame. I'm going to let you process it. And as you do, I highly suggest you patronize some of our fine sponsors who allow this show to be what it is. I'm psyched to talk to you about something that's become one of the favorite things I got going in my life. It's Blue Apron. And I say that very honestly. I tell you, I signed up. My wife and I now, we cook meals together. It's a great thing, a great part of our life. And they're healthy meals. And they send the exact ingredients that you need. They send these recipes with pictures. I don't even mess it up. And I'm a dummy. And all these ingredients, they're high quality. They taste better. They're better for you. We know where the food comes from. It's really a thing that we're super happy about, me and Hallie, the lady of mine. It's a great, great company. They really establish partnerships with small farms, fisheries, ranchers. They get seafood that's sourced sustainably. They really try to reduce the amount of waste by giving you the exact amount of food you need in each recipe. It's a good thing. And like I said, to me, the best thing is my wife and I, we actually cook together sit and eat together. We're busy people with busy lives. Blue Apron helps us slow down and sit and cook and eat, and it's a great thing. And it comes out to less than $10 per meal. They deliver it right to you. It's really a pretty amazing thing. Some of the meals available in September: spicy hoisin chicken stir fry with baby bok choy and sesame ginger cucumber salad, eggplant and chickpea tagine. That's a good one. Summer udon noodle salad. Check out this week's menu. Get your first 3 meals free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/beautiful. You'll love to create incredible home-cooked meals with Blue Apron, so do not wait. That's blueapron.com/beautiful. Blue Apron, a better way to cook. Guys, I really want to encourage you. Buy some stuff from those sponsors. Use the promo code. Let's prove to all these sponsors that, yes, Poop Stories can sell product. It's not outside the realm of possibility. Let's get back to the call. All right,
Chris. I got one more for you. Rapid fire here.
Oh, we can do rapid fires. Great.
So my friend starts a prank war with me by putting thumbtacks under my car's handle. So when I, open the car door, I get like four pricks in each of my fingers.
Yeah.
And so it goes back and forth. Whatever, it escalates. And one night I'm hanging out at some other friend's house. We're drinking and whatever. Then my buddy that put the tacks in my door handle lived like 2 or 3 houses down. So somebody suggests the idea of pooping on the hood of his car because we saw it out there. It was a good idea.
Yeah, it was.
But I was like, I'm heavy. I don't want to stand on this guy's hood. Pooping on it, I don't mind. Standing on it, I feel like is disrespectful. So,
so pooping on it, you don't think is disrespectful. Standing on it crosses a line.
Because if you damage the car, there's like a monetary effect.
Oh, sure, okay.
If you just simply poop on it, at least you can just like squirt it off.
Yeah.
He knew what it was about.
Okay.
So I go into my other friend's bathroom that we're hanging out at, and I like poop into a grocery bag. Like I kind of hover over the toilet and hold that bag, and I let it go into the bag.
Yeah.
And then walk through my friend's house with said bag full of poop, and walked a few houses down, and I just smeared it right onto the hood.
Yeah, smeared. How do you
Although
react?
I'm disappointed because I heard that he didn't. His dad was like the first one up that day, and his dad ended up cleaning it up.
Ah, that sucks.
So that one I do kind of feel guilty for.
Yeah. I went to Six Flags Great Adventure once in Jackson, New Jersey. My whole family went, including my Uncle Bob and my Aunt Karen, who are the best. And I was there, and a whole bunch of friends were with us. Frankie Kearns, again, was present for this story. And I was there, probably ate a churro or a funnel cake or something real greasy. And we're walking around, we're going, I always liked the spin rides, and those I think will scramble your insides. And I walked, and I had another one of those diarrhea attacks where it's like, oh my God, I got to shit right now. So I run to a bathroom, and inexplicably, every single stall, there's a line of roughly 10 to 15 Brazilian men. And they're going in one by one in clothes and exiting in Speedos and no shirts, just Speedos and sneakers. Just one by one, all of these men are changing into Speedos. And I'm standing there, I'm probably 9 years old, and I'm quaking, I'm shaking with the, knowledge that I'm about to shit my pants. And I realize on one of the lines, my Uncle Bob is in the bathroom. So I turn to him and I go, Uncle Bob, I'm going to shit my pants. I think I'm going to poop in my pants. And he didn't have any kids at the time. So I don't think he knew how to handle children. So he just looked at me and he was like, okay, I don't know. Okay. And I was like, you got to help. And he's like, how? And then I just made direct eye contact with my Uncle Bob and I just unloaded shit in my pants. But I really feel bad about that one because I'm like, now I'm 36 years old. I know my uncle should have been like, hey guys, you're all changing, but this little child has an emergency, he's got to go. And everybody would have been like, yeah, fine. But my Uncle Bob just bailed on me and just let me shit in my pants.
Yeah, it sounds like he didn't have the tools to deal with that at that time.
Yeah, I don't know if it was life experience or the emotional capacity, but he didn't have it in him. But he lived about 20 minutes from Great Adventure. So we told everybody that I got sick, and then I went back to his house and I swam in his pool. And then when Greg and Frankie Kearns were done at Great Adventure, everybody came and met us there. And they were like, oh, we heard you got sick. How are you feeling? And I was like, I didn't get sick. I just shit in my pants.
Okay, we got a good career.
All righty, Chris. Well,
who's that person?
Great talking to you.
Hey, who's that in the
You're
background?
my idol. It's my supervisor.
Are you going to get in trouble?
But, no, not at all.
Listen, though, every episode people call up, they say really deep stuff. We just told poop stories for 45 minutes.
Oh, yeah, no, but now, see, like, I got to go work.
1 to 10.
Man.
1 to 10, how's your love life?
0.
1 to 10, how's your job?
7.
1 to 10, what's your hope for the future?
10.
1 to 10, what's your family life like?
6. Thank you.
Sounds like everything's pretty good. All right, man. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Chris.
Yeah, you really got to go, huh? I want to keep fucking around. He's got to go.
Nah, give me something else. What do you got?
Tell me, I feel like I don't know. People call up, they tell me they're like married to child molesters or they're leaving their faith. I don't know anything about. What are the 3 bullet points I need to know you in total? Or give the phone to your supervisor. Let me talk to her.
3 bullet points. I really don't know. I couldn't summarize it. It's like trying to determine my own masculinity and maybe, I don't know. That's all I can think of.
Wow, that could have been a whole hour right there. Debating the nature of masculinity in modern society.
Yeah, no problem. Okay.
Sounds like
Alrighty,
you definitely shouldn't be on the phone, man. You should hang up. You're going to get in trouble, bro.
Yeah, well, I'll call in another time. Maybe we'll pick this back up.
I would love a part 2 of the poop episode. I would love it.
I got a few more.
Me
We
too.
can literally call it number 2.
That was brilliant. You're a brilliant man.
All right.
Good luck with everything.
Have a
Thank
good
you for
one.
calling. Yeah.
You too.
I hope, caller, wherever you are, A, I hope you're not getting yelled at by your supervisor. It sounded like you pushed that phone call as long as you could. Secondly, I hope you change your dietary habits and also your prank habits, because poop is too central a theme. I don't know. I hope you guys like that. I have no qualms myself with 45 minutes of poop stories. I bet there's some people who like the profound nature of this podcast as usual, and I hope all those people had a good laugh today as well. I enjoyed it. Call with poop stories anytime you want. I'm opening that door. Thank you, caller, for letting us know about all your fecal difficulties over the years. I want to thank John Delore. I want to thank Greta Cohn. I want to thank Shellshag for all the music. Shellshag is the best. I just went to an art exhibit at their space they run, and it was awesome. Support Shellshag and support the podcast. You can do so by telling your friends about it, and also rate, review, and most importantly, subscribe on iTunes. Those things really and genuinely do help so much. You want to know more about me? chrisgethard.com. That has all my touring dates. I go on the road a lot. It's been really cool going on the road, meeting listeners of this podcast. It's really eye-opening. I met a caller. I met the OTL kid in real life. He came out to a show I did. He was super nice, and his boyfriend was hot. He wasn't lying. Maybe I can meet you next. Come to a show. Let me know you're listening. And thank you all for listening to Beautiful Anonymous.
Just me, face to face.
Next time on a non-poop focused Beautiful Anonymous.
Hold on, a French Uber driver is asking me something. What's he say? You got this Shellshag? No. No. No, there's a list. No. Sorry,
It's
Chris,
okay.
are you there?
Do you have to go because you and that guy fell in love?
I didn't fall in love with the Uber driver, no.
Isn't that how it works in France? Isn't that how it works in Paris? That's next time on Beautiful Anonymous.
I'm Trayvon Free.
I'm Mike Drucker,
You are now in the room where it's happening.
where we geek out about the best musical of all time,
Hamilton.
Hamilton.
We'll be talking about the lyrics, the history, the production, and we've got some amazing guests. We have actress Kristen Chenoweth,
I'm rooting for you, and I'm sorry you shot him.
comedian John Hodgman,
I ran home and I said to my wife and 2 children, you have to listen to this.
Hamilton cast member Jasmine Cephas Jones.
Yo, this is amazing.
Subscribe right now and you'll never miss an episode. Join us in the room where it's happening.
Everybody.
That's amazing.
This has been an Earwolf production, executive produced by Scott Ackerman and Chris Bannon. For more information and content, visit earwolf.com.